Hello, welcome once again to Lehto's Law. I'm Steve Lehto. I get the coolest mail, and I'm here to tell you right now, if you get in a car accident, try not to do it in Ohio, because if that happens, you will be chased by ambulance chasers, no matter where you live. And I know this because of some mail I got from a gentleman named Peter. I talked to Peter, said, Peter, is it okay if I do a video about your ordeal? And he said, absolutely. So after talking to Peter today and reviewing the stuff he sent me, we're going to talk about ambulance chasers of Ohio. So the letter I got says, Dear Mr. Lehto, I have a question about attorneys soliciting business from those involved in accidents and crimes. I understand we both live under the laws of Michigan. Peter's from Michigan. But the incident that evoked this question occurred in Ohio. In June of this year, while driving in a rainstorm on I-90 near Cleveland, Ohio, I was rear-ended by a large pickup truck. I sustained no injury. The driver of the truck immediately came to my car, asked if my welfare was, good, and then admitted he was at fault. Now, here's where it gets interesting. Under police direction, we pulled off the highway to a parking lot so that information could be collected. The accident report was written up, and the officer clearly indicated that the driver of the truck, who is a criminal defense attorney, on the way to court, was at fault. Now, that may or may not matter, but I would tell you right now that the last person you want to get involved with in a traffic accident would be an attorney, if you were to be involved in some kind of litigation, but no litigation ensued. So here's the thing. Both of us went on our way then with vehicle damage. So Peter returns to Michigan eventually, and his guy who hit him goes on his way as well. So on June 28th, 8 days after the accident in which there was no injuries, I received a phone call from a Cleveland area code from a man who inquired about my well-being following up on the accident. Immediately suspicious, I told him what he was doing was illegal. Now, he's just basically trying to get the guy off the phone, and the man protested, claiming that his solicitation was legitimate. Irritated, I told him he was a jerk for bothering me, and I hung up. 3 minutes later, I received a phone call from a North Carolina area code, and the man asked, "Did you just call me a jerk?" To which I said, yes. I told him to get a real job. Now, I salute Peter for telling it like it is, because I've told salespeople worse. And the fact that the guy has a North Carolina phone number as well as an Ohio phone number indicates he's doing something wacky. And I've had salespeople call me with a spoofed phone number, and they're trying to pretend they're legitimate. I'm saying, excuse me, where are you calling from? And they name someplace other than the spoof. And I go, well, it says here you're calling me from Michigan, and you just told me you're in Arizona. They go, oh, well, we just do that. Oh, you just do that? You're deceptive in your first contact? So the fact that the attorney has got two different area codes from two different states should indicate that the guy's a problem. But the fact that he's upset that he's called a jerk. So 2 hours later, I received a call from a Cincinnati area code, and a woman asked for me by my full name, first, middle, last, which most people wouldn't know, and asked how I was doing after my accident. How are you doing? We're concerned about you. She asked, did I have head, back, or neck pain, weakness, or tingling? She's concerned about your well-being. When asked, she claimed she was not representing any law firm, physician, or insurance company, but she represented the Victims Recovery Service or something like that, and was simply looking into my welfare. Yeah, there's a group of people out there who simply call random strangers and ask them if they're doing okay after an accident that happened 8 days ago. Sure. I've been in accidents. Nobody ever called me if I was doing okay. Maybe I'm being left out. She actually called me 3 minutes later as if it was a new call and proceeded to ask the same questions. Like, she's just dialing numbers she forgot she'd already called Peter once. I told her I was not interested and to stop calling this number. I could not find the name of the agency she represented on the internet. So that also makes you wonder. 4 days later, I received 3 mail solicitations from attorneys in Cleveland and Northwest Ohio advertising their services should I choose to litigate any aspect of the accident. One included a copy of the Cleveland Police Accident Report. And he says, I've enclosed that so you can see it. I've also enclosed the envelopes from the firms. How common are these solicitations from lawyers? Are they legal? And I've not actually heard from them beyond this, although initially irritated by this attention, I found the contact interesting. So this is a guy like me. Stuff that's unusual. It might be annoying, but at least you're going, wait a second. It makes you think, right? So please contribute your perspective on the story. Thank you in advance for your help. Sincerely yours, Peter. And Peter, again, I thank you. And I talked, like I said, I talked to Peter on the phone. Great guy. And I called him and he goes, Mask is calling. And I said, I was going to go, this is an attorney calling about your accident. I decided not to. That's only funny for so long. So I said, hey, this is Steve Lehto. You sent me some stuff on the attorney on YouTube. And he's, oh yeah, hey, how you doing? Like I said, great guy. And so he included in his package of stuff to me the police report. And it says motorist, non-motorist, Ohio Department of Public Safety, local report number, and it's pages 1 of 4 and 4 of 4, traffic crash report. And it does say on it, for instance, that there's a little diagram and it shows how the collision occurred. It gives the officer's name, how long they were at the scene, how long they investigated, a badge number, and then the conditions, for instance, were wet. The surface was blacktop or bituminous asphalt. The contour of the road was a curve grade, and so on. But the scary part, of course, about all of this is the page that describes the motorists, because it gives Peter's first name, middle name, last name. It gives his home address. It gives his date of birth. It gives his age, his gender, his home phone number, and a bunch of other information about him that you don't generally want this stuff advertised, right? And then, of course, it gives all the other information about the other guy. And so I wonder right now how many attorneys have contacted the defense attorney who caused the accident. Which makes you wonder. And it gives his name, home address, date of birth, age, gender, and his contact phone number. Again, all this information that seems personal and whatnot. Now, don't get me wrong. I understand that this stuff's all public record. It's being created by government agencies, and our tax dollars created this. I understand that. But I've also seen them take accident reports and redact information. And so as I told Peter, what they're doing down there, apparently, is they have people at the law firm, probably a clerk of some sort, who goes to all the local police departments. And they just pick up all the accident reports from the last week or however long it is. And that explains that lag time. So the people calling him are just sleazy. But the other people who are mailing him stuff, here's one from a law firm in Cleveland, Ohio, that says, ask us about our 25% contingency fee. Here's one from somebody in Maumee, Ohio, which says, we are lawyers serving the people. Free consultation. Se habla español. I wonder what that means. It says police report enclosed. Advertisement only. I'm sure that's probably some requirement by the Ohio State Bar. And then here's one that says the law offices of this guy, free accident report enclosed. And by the way, the other guy also said police report enclosed. And this one's labeled advertisement only, but there's a gold sticker over it. It says valuable experience, 20 plus years of valuable experience. The law offices of, and I'm not going to give the guy's name, doesn't need any free advertising from me. But yeah, that one is a sole practitioner. And this one here is a law firm. But they have the 25% contingency fee. And they're in a building on the 16th floor in Cleveland. So that's impressive. So the question, of course, is what happens if you are an attorney and you need to contact somebody? And believe it or not, there's rules on that. And so I don't know what the rules are in Ohio, and I don't care. But the rules in Michigan govern what an attorney can do when it comes to contacting a person who's not a relative, former client, or somebody they have a relationship with. And as you might guess, they're governed by the Michigan Rules of Professional Conduct, which I've covered here before, and they are found in many places, including on the internet, but I have a handy-dandy book in front of me, and I have a bookmark. But I'm looking for, I keep hitting the microphone today, it's weird. The Michigan Rules of Professional Conduct, Rule 7.3. Direct contact with a prospective client. A lawyer shall not solicit professional employment from a prospective client with whom the lawyer has no family or prior professional relationship when a significant motive for the lawyer's doing so is the lawyer's pecuniary gain. So in other words, you can't solicit for money from somebody who's not a family member or a former client, except under the following circumstances. The term solicit includes contact in person, by telephone or telegraph, by letter or other writing, or by other communication direct to a specific recipient, but does not include letters addressed or advertising circulars distributed generally to persons not known to need legal services of the kind provided by the lawyer in a particular matter, but who are so situated that they might, in general, find such services useful. Nor does the term solicit include sending truthful and non-deceptive letters to potential clients known to face particular legal problems, as explained in a case called Shapiro versus Kentucky. A lawyer shall not solicit professional employment from a prospective client by written or recorded communication, or by in-person or telephone contact, even when not otherwise prohibited by paragraph A, if the prospective client has made known to the lawyer not to be solicited, or the solicitation involves coercion, duress, or harassment. So if you read this, and again, this is written inside out and backwards, but what they're basically saying is, look, you can send out letters all day long to people generally describing what you do. So theoretically, this stuff would be okay under Michigan law. The interesting thing, though, is it says, shall not solicit professional employment from by telephone contact or in person if the prospective client has made known to the lawyer a desire not to be solicited by the lawyer. So unfortunately, it means they get one phone call before they've got to leave you alone. And I've always thought that was wrong. But the funny thing is that when the guy called him, and Peter said, I think you're a jerk, and hung up on him, when the guy called him back under Michigan law, okay, that's a violation of Michigan's rules of professional conduct. I don't know if that's the state in Ohio, and I don't know if it's really the kind of thing that would merit filing a complaint with anybody in particular, because, of course, Michigan's to say, well, the guy's in Ohio, he's probably governed by Ohio law and that kind of thing. But I'll tell you right now, I really wonder, and like I said before, I've been practicing law in the field of lemon law and consumer protection for 28 years now. I don't advertise. I just don't. So you're not going to find an advertisement for me on TV. You're not going to see flyers in the mail saying, hey, I do lemon law. That's not what I do. Don't do that. Now, what I can tell you is that Peter received 3 letters. I hit the microphone again. 3 letters from attorneys in Ohio. And the funny thing is, I got to pick this thing back up again. But the funny thing is that I'm pretty certain that most of these police reports on here will list if a person has an injury of any sort. And I'm pretty sure it's down here. Injuries on both parties, 5, no apparent injury. No apparent injury. And Peter also told me that he told the police officer, I'm not injured. And he also said he told the other attorney, the other driver, I'm not injured. And the other driver told him, I'm not injured. So all the people at the scene, the police officer, the parties, agreed there were no injuries. The police report so reflects no injuries. And so when you have an accident with no injuries, the fact that it generates 3 solicitations from some ambulance chasers and phone calls from people in a variety of different states, it makes you wonder. So, again, if that's what you need to do to run your business, I guess you got to keep doing that, especially if that's what helps you maintain these gold seals, because these gold seals cost money. And so when you're buying a gold seal like that, and you're can you imagine? You buy gold stickers and give them to yourself. There you go. You're a good boy. Sorry, I just can't. So again, my advice to you is if you're going to get in a car accident, don't do it in Ohio, especially not the Northwest corner, because that's apparently where all these guys are revving their engines up to go chasing ambulances. But there you go. So again, I got to thank Peter for passing the story along to me. I love stuff like this. I love seeing stuff like this, and I love dissecting it the same way he did. And yeah, he said on one level it was frustrating and annoying, but on another level it's just bizarre. But you want to study it, right? So there you go. Questions or comments, put them below. Let's talk to you later. Bye-bye.